Hello everyone, I hope y'all are doing well. My name is Valerie and welcome to Val N Vibes. So for today's video, I'm actually going to run it back to one of my first videos where I introduced y'all to my plant babies. If y'all didn't know, I'm a first-time plant mom. So I had five, and they were really beautiful. I had two pothos. I had a really big rubber plant, a calathea, and a rattlesnake plant, and I was working really hard, making sure I was like following the instructions with upkeep, but then I had a long period where I was just traveling a lot. I went to Colombia, and then I went to Phoenix, and then I went to Charlotte. So there was like a stretch where I just wasn't here. So I was just trying to find all these different workarounds to make sure that my plants were okay. So for the Colombia trip, I actually dropped my plants off with one of my coworkers, and he's a plant dad. So that was a good situation. Like I got them back and they were intact. Everything was good, right? Second trip, when I went to Phoenix, that's where things went bad. So I don't like to overly burden people, so I didn't want to ask him like twice in a row to watch my plants. So I asked another one of my friends, and she very openly admitted that she didn't know what she was doing. So red flag number one, but I still proceeded. And some of my babies weren't doing well. When I came back to pick them up, like I suspect that she may have accidentally drowned them. They were like sopping wet when I picked them up, and I was just like, but I couldn't even be that mad at her because, she didn't know what she was doing, and I still gave her my kids. So lessons were learned. But after that, literally when I picked them up, I had like 3 days in between before I was gonna travel to Charlotte. Y'all, I was stressed. I was literally like looking things up and down, figuring out how I could care for my plants and everything when I was away from home. I know people travel all the time. You see people with all these plants in their houses and everything, and like they're obviously not like always getting plant sitters or inviting people into their place to do stuff. So I'm like, okay, how do people get this stuff done? So what I did, I bought these little watering globes. Wait, hold on. I got these like watering globes, and the way they work, you like fill them up with water, and then the water just holds in there, and then you put it inside your plant, and it kind of just like trickles down and everything, and it's supposed to like gradually water your plants. But I think the main issue is that, one, I saw that a lot of times that like these just like put water in a very centralized place. So for some plants, it's not the best thing. And then also, like I said, I think my plants were like drowning. So I don't know if they actually needed more water, but I didn't know what to do. I was scared to leave them without water for like a week. So I did it anyways, and I came back from Charlotte, and it was worse. It was worse. It was worse. And I did my best. I did some research trying to figure out how to revive my calathea and my rattlesnake plant, and to no avail. So they're no longer with us. Let's take a quick moment of silence for my fallen plant babies.
In the arms of the angels, fly away.
But yeah, the reason I'm making this video today is because I think that what I went through probably isn't uncommon. I'm sure there's a lot of plant parents or new plant parents who got their plants, went on trips, and came back and were just devastated. So in this video, I'm gonna go through some of the key tips in terms of how you can go about caring for your plants when you're away. I'm also gonna go back to one of the plant nurseries that I actually bought some of my plants from. They will let you like repot your plants there, and they also give really good advice. They were so nice. This is actually one of my favorite ones that I visited, even though I actually really did like all of them. So hopefully they can be kind of helpful. I also think I need to repot my plants. I've had them for a while and they're growing, so that could also be something that's kind of stunting them a bit. So I'm gonna talk to them, see if I can get some more professional plant advice, and then we'll go from there. And I wanna show y'all my plants, so just give me 1 second. All right, so these are my babies that are still kicking. So right here, this is my golden pothos. She's really beautiful. Like y'all can see, they're like doing pretty well. There's like a couple areas where there's like a little bit of browning, but like I think that's kind of normal, especially because they went through a time. Then I had this other pothos. This is a marble queen pothos. She's so pretty. I'm so happy that my pothos were resilient enough to like not die. I would have been so sad if all my small plants died. I don't know what I would have done. And then I have my rubber plant, and to be honest, she's so big, like I would have been really surprised if my friend drowned her. Like, that's a lot of soil. So she would have to have like really like, you know, that's not the point. But anyways, yeah, so these are my plants. They're still kicking. So I'm planning on taking them down to the plant nursery, seeing if I can repot them. I'm honestly leaning towards getting one of those self-watering pots or self-watering planters. I don't know, I'm gonna write the right name right here. But basically I'm leaning towards getting one of those. I think that'll probably be the easiest thing. But we'll see. I'm gonna see what the recommendations are and then we'll go from there. Hey y'all, I just left garden 17 and I got a new plant. Look at her. She's, oh my God. Wait, no, I do know what she is. She's a snake plant. It's a snake plant and she's small. They can do well in low light, which is nice. So I low-key might put her in my bathroom. I don't know if that's disrespectful to her because she actually is really pretty. I might put her out with the rest of the babies. But look y'all, I repotted her myself. Ooh, I'm so excited. But yeah, the general advice that I got is that the plants that I have, so the pothos and the rubber plants, they honestly should be able to do pretty well without water for a week. So she was just saying that I should just like water them really, really well before, and then I could just use the globes that I have. They didn't have big enough self-watering pots. So I'm not gonna say it's a dead mission. I low-key might go to Lowe's or something like that and see if they have any. And then I might go from there. But you know, like if they're gonna be okay without water for a little bit, that might be okay. So that's kind of like not scary. But I just really can't have them die again. That is really gonna mess me up, you know what I mean? So I'm still considering getting the self-watering plants, but we'll see. Now I have 4. We're getting the count back up. We're gonna take care of them right. We're learning things the right way this time. But yeah, that's the update. Hello everyone, and we're back home. Did I do what I said I was going to do? Not necessarily, but progress was made. And we have a new addition to the family, you know what I mean? So nothing lost. But yeah, I'm thinking that I'm probably just gonna order some of these like self-watering planters from Target. I see a couple for like literally like $3, obviously depending on the size, but that's pretty affordable. So, or very, very affordable. So I'll probably get a couple of those. And then maybe I'll go back to Garden 17 and then plant them there. Maybe. It was actually really easy. I was gonna actually have someone plant this for me because I was nervous and I was like, I don't wanna mess her up, but it was actually easy. So I'm glad that I did it myself. But yeah, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into the recommendations for how you can care for your plants when you're away. So recommendation number 1 is to give your plants a nice showering or water before you leave. This is even what the person at Garden 17 even recommended to me. She said that the plants that I have are probably kind of hardy. So if I just give them like a nice shower and everything, then they'll be probably fine for that week. And for a lot of plants, it's probably the case. Obviously, every plant's different, but that's a recommendation that's really common that I saw. Of course, there's also the self-watering planters. So the way those work, you'll put water at the bottom of this like a little pan or something. And then where you actually put your plant, like the little body of the pot, usually is a bit porous. So basically your plant is able to absorb the water from outside and everything through that more porous pot. Usually I think it's like terracotta or something. So that's recommendation number 2. So recommendation number 3 are the self-watering bulbs. So I showed you all these earlier, but here they are. I got these from Walmart. They were pretty affordable. I don't think they were more than like $7 or $10 each. Where you get them actually matters because some places are more expensive, just saying. But I got these from Walmart for like $7, $10 each, so that was pretty good. The lady at the plant nursery was telling me that these are a really reliable option, so maybe these are really not the culprit at all for my plants dying. They were probably already on their way, you know what I mean? So maybe later on I will give them a try. Number 4, you can put your plants into a shady area. Keeping your plants in a shady area is another major recommendation. That way they lose moisture a lot slower. So that's also another really big benefit. Another recommendation is that you can forego using fertilizer. I guess when you're using fertilizer, you're kind of like encouraging your plants to grow. So when they're growing, of course, they're going to need all the nutrients and water and everything to go through that process. So if you kind of slow down the fertilizer, they probably won't grow as fast, but they also won't need as much water. So that's another major recommendation. Another recommendation is to do some light pruning. So that's kind of when you're kind of going through your plant and checking for any leaves that are like yellowing or kind of dying, and kind of just going ahead and giving them a little trim. The next recommendation I saw was actually kind of similar to the planter idea, but basically you get a pan and you put like pebbles in it, and then you fill it up with water, and then you put your plants inside that pan. So it's kind of similar to like the self-planters and everything, where your plant's basically just absorbing from water that's underneath it. Most plant pots either will have like bottoms like this. For this one that I got, they like drilled a hole in it. So usually if you kind of use that method, there will be a way for the water to be absorbed up and everything, and the roots will take it from there. So that's another tactic, using the pan with the pebbles. Ooh, this next one was actually really cool. So basically they're describing it as making like a little DIY greenhouse for your plants. So basically the reason that greenhouses are so good for plants is because the humidity is really good for plants, and they have that recycled process of like evaporation and all that kind of stuff. So like the condensation and everything is going to end up coming back down, and the plants will be able to reabsorb that moisture. So basically the way you can do this, put 2 sticks inside your plant, and then put a plastic bag over it, so it's not like the bag itself is actually touching your plants and everything. And then that'll kind of create its own little, you know, greenhouse environment and everything, where it's able to have that humidity and like recycle the moisture and stuff. And humidity is really, really good for plants. So that's a really cool, innovative one. I kind of like that, and maybe I'll try that. Maybe, I don't know, but it's cool. Recommendation number 10, get a plant sitter. I just got another plant, so now I have 4. So that's like not too much to bring to someone's house, in my opinion, and everything. But depending on how many you have, having a plant sitter might not be the easiest thing for you to do unless you feel comfortable letting someone into your house. And you know, it also costs money. Everybody's not always trying to like spend upwards of $10 or more a day for someone to come and water their plants and everything, because you know what I mean. But yeah, that's what I did. And the first time it was a success. The second time, not as much. So just knowing when you're getting a plant sitter and doing that process and everything, to make sure that you're like using someone who knows what they're doing, or you know, your plants are probably better off just being at home with like a nice shower. Yeah, those are the major recommendations that I found online. A couple of them corroborated by the attendant or the worker at the garden or the plant nursery. So yeah, please comment down below and let me know any questions that you have. Please give me all the recommendations you guys can. Obviously, I'm winging this. I'm figuring this out as I go and everything. So if there's any like surefire tactics or recommendations that you guys can give me, or things that you just learned over the course of your plant journey, I definitely will be more than happy to receive all those recommendations. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all right now. I really hope that y'all enjoyed my video. And yeah, thanks for vibing with me, and I'll catch y'all next time. Bye.